Que el día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves, no le importa dónde y cuándo. Pero nada no es, yo no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos. Los 7 días de la semana te doy de mañana y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo, mujer. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada, nada. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé. Vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar.
I know that I just met you, but you look, oh girl, you blow my mind. I know what I would like to do, but you just keep on talking. I see your dog needs walking. Your folk drive you insane. I know, yeah, that's true. Of course, you ain't the one to blame. Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me, but I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. 'Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking, but I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you.
this miserable song on repeat, 'cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, 'cause you don't take me seriously. What's there to repair if you don't wanna talk to me? You should know your time is up, I'm out, I'm done. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and you'll no longer feel my presence. So you thought I would let this live, thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So you thought I would let this live, thought you knew me so much better. So you thought I would let this live, thought you knew me so much better. Yeah, yeah. So you thought I would let this live. No, that's right. Your words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so loud. No, that's right. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and you'll no longer feel my presence.
In this moment,
Yes.
I cannot say what's wrong or right.
No.
It's not hard to fool me,
No.
'cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Yes.
Yeah, lead the way, I follow. No need to say
No.
Shout out to the CIA.
now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all,
Do me a favor.
the edge of it all.
State, gender, age in the chat room. Let's go.
'Cause I'll buy no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you good night. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem,
No.
'cause I know what I'm getting into.
Yes.
Yeah, and nothing can stop me,
Naima,
'cause I'm addicted.
you help inspire tonight's broadcast.
Realize
Give it up for Hot Lips in the house.
the way I fall.
Hot Lips.
No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
Everybody put some lips in the chat room.
So tell you good night,
Hot yips.
'cause I'll buy no matter what.
Oh God.
Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, man? Shout out to the CIA. One love to FBI. Back again with one of your favorite shows on YouTube as of late. I don't know what we're going to call this. We're going to call it the Academy. Let's call it the Mix. Let's call it the Mixer. Let's call it the Mixer. Haha, because this is what we get in here to mix it up. Oh, yeah, I want to call it the Blender. Whatever it is, we up in this piece. Today's show is kind of an amalgamation. Before I get into it, what's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight? Is everybody having a good time? This is going to be a lighter topic. You know, last couple of nights we've been cooking with grease. And I want to just kind of tamp it back, have a little bit of fun, and do a lot of education. But one thing that I have noticed with all the women who are coming over to the men's spaces on YouTube, and you're more than welcome over here. Like I said, if you'll buy a GQ magazine, you'll buy this. GQ, for real. One thing that I am noticing, dang, Young Pharaoh got 16,000 people watching. Go on, Young Pharaoh, blow up, boy. Over there with them flat earths and UFOs and carrying on. But do what you do, boy. Do what you do. One thing I've noticed with women, all jokes aside, one thing I noticed in my profession, for those of you who don't know, my name is Kevin Samuels. I'm a professional and corporate image consultant. And my job is to help people look good, smell great, and be their best every day. As an image consultant, I deal with the ABCD of image: your appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. And it's all related to outcomes. The kind of outcomes you say you want to achieve, I help you construct an image to help you achieve those outcomes. But it all comes down to being able to do that work. One of the things I noticed even before I ever made it to YouTube is that women, and this is no dig at the ladies, but women often truly they don't seem to be able to really accurately rate themselves. Ask an average woman where you rank on the scale from 1 to 10 on her face, and I have never had a woman tell me I'm a 2. Now, I give measurements. I say a woman should be between 5 foot, 5'4". The average weight of an American woman used to be 125 pounds. It's jumped up to 163, with black women coming in around about 180. I say a woman, if you really talk about getting a high value man, a Henry, high earner, not rich yet, whether he's Blake Henry or Blue Henry or Hit Squad, look it up. Those guys work hard and they have options. You need to be a dress size 6 or less, 5'4" or under. 5 foot, I say 9 and above, but there's some give in there. Between 5'5", 5'9", you can, dress size 8. There's also an age component in it. That's for no kids. All right. So that's objective. You are what you are. No matter what dress size you wear, you need to be under 145 pounds. So know how I slice it. 145. I don't care. I'm more busty. I'm more this. I'm more that. Look, you ain't no bigger than Pam Grier was. Pam Grier was a size 8. So knock it off. But a dress size is a more objective measurement. A shoe size, a foot length is not subjective. It is what it is. Dress sizes are a nice range. But when you get to your facial beauty, this is where women in this case really are off. Now, if you are familiar with something called the Fibonacci sequence or the golden ratio, it has been scientifically proven that human males are more drawn to more symmetrical features. Put a dot right here and spiral out, and you can map facial features that we have grown, evolved to find more attractive, irrespective of race. Why is this important? This is important because so many women in general, and for this conversation, a lot of our sisters really are overvaluing yourselves. So I'm going to say in 2020, I've had women call into my show. And oftentimes they'll say, I'm this or that. And what you're rating, when I ask them what they rank as far as, look scale of 1 to 10, and I'm hearing lots of 9, 10s. Well, ladies, you know what? I'm also hearing a lot of guys talk about how they're entrepreneurs in 6 figures. That ain't true. 14% of, the large majority of people are just average. So that means half of you, there are 40 million black folk in this country, right? Or however many women there are in this country, half of you are 5s. That's just it. Half of you are 5s. 40% of you are 6s. 30% of you are 7s. 20% of you are 8s. 10% of you are 9s. And damn near none of you are 10s. But I'm not here to throw salt in the wound. Well, I'm here to try to help you ladies get more realistic, to help you get more realistic about what men, high value men that you would want to be in LTRs with that kind of stuff, what they really look. See, inevitably, the women who tend to value themselves, overvalue themselves, your resume and your income are coming into it. Rarely do I hear a woman who is just a high school graduate working at Walmart ranking herself a 9 or a 10. But it's not uncommon to hear a woman that has a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD ranking herself a 9 or a 10. What are you saying? Only 9s and 10s go to college? Everybody else? No, it's not the truth. So before we get into it, let's go ahead and check in the frat room. In a chat room, frat room. We need to get these likes up. We got 505 people watching, only 200 likes, man. We're going to have to get these likes over 300. Over 300, because I need to know if you ladies, if you're a woman in the chat room and you really want to know where you rank, get an image consultant's opinion, I'll gladly give it to you. Who would be? First off, Karen Wright. You're in here with no avatar. I'll tell you what. It's always suspicious to me when women come in with no avatars. Attractive women tend to like to be seen. Let me explain to a lot of the guys why this is happening more these days. The internet and social media. Let's say, let's give a name. Give a name. Let's take a name out of the air. Kim. In 1950, 60, or 70, or 80, or even 1990, Kim, the local head cheerleader at Acme High, she dated the captain of the football team and she was the homecoming queen. Everybody knew who the top girl in high school was. But the top girl in your high school, you go across town to another high school, there's another Kim. And what the Kims of the world had to realize is they were the shit from 9th grade to 12th grade. But then they went to college. And then they met Kims from around the country. And all of a sudden, all these 9s or 10s became just average. See, but the average girls, the women and here the average, 7 is cute to pretty. You know, 7 is pretty. 6 is cute. Thelma on Good Times is a 7. Pam Grier, an 8. Jane Kennedy, a 9. And you talking about Dorothy Dandridge, something like that. She was around a 10. I use older women because their classic beauty is objectionable, objective standards. Like it or not, that's just what we're going as a benchmark. We're talking about your natural beauty. No makeup, your natural hair. Because oftentimes I hear women today talk about, well, I'm a 4, but when I'm done up, I'm a 7. No, you're a 4. You're a 4. So you ladies, first off, you need to just own what it is. There's a term in the manosphere called 49ers. 4s, women who are 4s, who act like 9s. Over here, I'm calling them 69ers. We got 6s who think they're 9s. Because I don't deal with a lot of women who are typically 4s. Nothing's wrong with them, just not over here. Because I deal with a lot of high value guys. Guys who want to be high valued. But let's talk about in the middle. In the middle, 5, 6, the top of the middle is 7. The tippy top is 7. I will tell you arguably that a lot of the women I see on YouTube, be them content creators or on panels, 7 is the top level I've seen. I'm honestly trying to think of a single woman that I have seen in Black YouTube, content creator or on a panel, that is an 8. That should tell you something. Because I hear women, these same women, getting how fine and how no. Again, natural face, natural or light makeup. I mean, I will give you natural face with some lipstick or lip balm or lip gloss. Okay, you can have that. I'll even give you, do your eyebrows. Trim your eyebrows, and I'll even give you light eye makeup. A little bit of mascara and a little light eyeliner. I'll even give you light foundation, but I'm not going to give you beat your face. We're talking about makeup that you would wear in the middle of July in Houston. I'm not talking about this pancake stuff you put on your face for glamour shots. All right, let's get the likes up. 290 people watching, 700 people looking. 209. Come on, man. We got to get these up. Get them up. And nobody is donated. One person donated. Y'all ain't pimping me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's get them up. We're going to need at least, let's see, 700 people, 650. See, notice how when I turn in that, let's get them up. Get them up. Let's get the song going so y'all can throw the donations in there and get the likes up. Get them up. Do not highlight me, Dakota. If you highlight... Oh, you get to go. Watch all the butt hurt come in here. See? Come on, get the likes up. We're gonna need at least 10 people to throw something in there. Oh, Dakota gone. Dakota's. Rebecca Lynn Pope talks about the unrealistic expectations in mating and dating. Rebecca Lynn Pope said it that you got this list of standards, and that's not realistic. When she says she's looking at a woman who ain't half as cute as she is, Rebecca Lynn Pope is, and they wouldn't even want her husband. That's why I stopped working with black women. I had a mid-50s-year-old black woman that looked like she could be Aretha Franklin's cousin. 300 some odd pounds. And she expected me to be able to work a miracle and help her find a high level, get her image together so she could find a six-figure black man in his 50s or 60s to marry her in a year. Like, I can't do that. I'm not a miracle worker. I'm like, this woman was 300 pounds. And then got angry at me when I actually had to tell her the truth. Ma'am, designers don't make clothes in size 26, 28. Hermes has a Dior, Hermes, all these places. You can't wear heels, 4-inch heels. Your knees will give out. See, let me get right down to this. Do you ladies want to hear the truth from an image standpoint? And this is why Rebecca Lynn Pope, a matchmaker, stopped. When women in general, black women in particular, will get so angry at you that they want to start trolling you, I'm like, who are you hurting? There's no way you couldn't get a man on my level, Dakota. I mean, that's the fact of the matter. The truth is, like, damn, I know I would love to have a high value man, a man of means is doing something, but I've allowed myself to get out of control to where all I can be is big and violent. So let's get into it. For the ladies that are going to do it. Hold on. Let me get this back over here. If you type in all caps, you're going to get timed out. I need you guys to act like grown-ups. Okay. So, Nikiva, you're going to be a moderator tonight because you've been around and you kind of know what goes on. Don't abuse it. 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 Ebony K, you're going to be a moderator tonight. I'm trying to look for people who I know who've been around. Do not abuse it. I do a moderator audit after new moderators. You are only to time people out if they say something egregious or if you catch troll comments, rude comments, bring them to my attention. You are not to block anyone. Moderators do not block anyone. Bring them to my attention. I'm looking through here to see if I see other guys. I'm looking for people who are been around, been patrons, and who can follow the rules and don't cause no trouble. Okay, and Jay, you are one. All right, Jay, you're one, Jay. Cool. All right, here's where we're getting into it. Understand something now. Rebecca is a certain kind of, it doesn't matter. Rebecca Lynn Pope is somebody's wife and that woman's in her 40s. But make no mistake, Rebecca Lynn Pope is not a certain kind of attractive. She's pretty. See, I'm going to deal with the women tonight, but I also need to talk to some of you guys because I'm going to line this all up. A lot of this has to do with the Instagramming of the dating market. Yes, over-sexualized, extreme. I was at the mall today in Atlanta, and I saw this woman whose waist was like this, and her ass was so large. It is genetically impossible for her to have that kind of hip to waist ratio naturally. She looked like Jessica Rabbit. You know, when they drew a woman with like this and a little bitty waist and that. Now you see that walking around. That ain't pretty. That ain't cute. That's disgusting to me. Because it ain't natural. Saw a woman walking around today with a bonnet on her head, flip flops, and had another one of them bodies. But the way she was walking, this woman was so plastic, she couldn't even walk right. Looked like, remember how the old zombies used to do? I'm like, but anywho, cartoonish. When you get a woman who would have been a 5, 6, 7 at best back in the day before social media, she would have not got that. She would have got average attention. You know, she wouldn't be the first person to get asked to dance, but she would get asked to be, somebody would ask her to dance. We're not talking about women that no one ever asked to dance. We're talking about women who people asked to dance, they asked them to go to skate. We're talking about women who had dates to the prom. No, not the starting quarterback. No, not we're talking about, we're not talking about the nerds, Revenge of the Nerds people. No, we're talking about people right there in the middle, average. You're talking about the people you look back and they just look normal. And this is one thing you look in outside of Black America and you see a bunch of average people together. Do you ever, like, sometimes, come on, you've seen a white woman who you're like, she's just plain Jane. She's just blah. Then you look at her husband and blah, they match. But in Black America, we're so uncoupled to where everyone's basically trying to go for the highest thing they can get other than settling for what it is you are. Not supposed to say that. And this matters more for women than anything else, because if you're a 5, 6, or 7 and you're holding out for 8, 9, or 10 guy, the data is in on the fact that Black women choose men more on their looks than on their resume. And it's rare to see, and rarely have I ever heard of a woman who thinks she's really attractive wanting a dude that she thinks is average. But where is this all coming from? When I look at a lot of women today who call themselves 8s, 9s, and 10s, and I'm saying, God, you're a 7 at best. I think about 2 or 3 days ago when I asked a woman, I was like, what do you look like? 9, 10. That's what she said. It was like 9, 10. And I was like, and I just went to a public page and I clicked. I was like, nine, 10? Nothing about this is 9, 10. 6, 7. So, women today have far more attention than they would ever get. And guys, you got to understand that they have men in their inbox, their DMs. Thirst is at an all-time high. So when you have women that would normally have had a reasonable estimation of their SMV, it's been magnified because of dating apps and things like that. But ladies, let me tell you, that only works online. It only works online. This is why catfishing is a thing. It doesn't work in the real world. If you only get attention online from the kind of men you think you should be getting, but in the real world, you attract what you are. So, question, why are so many women overvaluing themselves? Why are so many of you 8s, 9s, and 10s? Here's the real question. Why are so many of you 8s, 9s, and 10s unmarried? Why are so many of you women who honestly think, Kevin, you don't know what you're talking about? Why are so many of you 8s, 9s, and 10s unmarried? Let's talk about some things Let's talk about some things you can't be. You cannot be over 30 and a 10. 29, 10, to be a 10, you have to be 29 or under. Okay? Write these down. To be a 10, you got to be 29 or under. You cannot be a 10 over 30. You automatically lose 1 point. You also have to have no children. So if you're over 30 or you have a kid, automatically, if you're both of those, you're an 8 at best. Let's say you're 28 years old and you got a kid and you're a 10. Well, at best, you're a 9. This is how men look at these things. And when men look at women who claim to be 8s, 9s, and 10s, it's not how you look among black women. It's among every woman on the planet. High value men, the Henrys of the world, they're not just looking at you based upon the high school paradigm where you were the hot girl in high school. No, they're looking at you city, state, region, country. Why is this important? Because it is my personal opinion that many of the 5s, 6s, and 7s, the women in the middle, the average, you have overplayed your hand by thinking you're more attractive than you are and waiting for something that you'll never get. Let me just go ahead and just drop that right on down. You've overplayed your hand by thinking you're more attractive than you are, waiting for something that you will never, ever get. Okay? That makes sense? Never, ever get. So, if you're 8, 9, or 10, and you've never had, and somebody asks you if you've ever been married or someone's ever dropped to one knee and proposed to you in public with a significant ring, and all you hear is, you're not an 8, 9, or 10. 8s, 9s, and 10s get proposed to. See, there's no, I'm going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. Men propose to you because men want to lock 9s, 10s down. They bring a ring and drop down to a knee. They work it all out. It's no negotiation up front. See, you're 7 or under if this has ever happened. If you've like, well, I've never been married or proposed to, but I have discussed marriage with a guy, well, you're a 7. I've had women ask about, how to effectively, and this is all out of my wheelhouse, but I'll give my opinion on it. How to I want to frame it around image though. The net of it is how to move and how to move out here as a single mother, how to date effectively. That's going to be a straight opinion broadcast, not a professional consultant kind of thing. I'll give my opinion on it, but there are other channels and other platforms of people far more qualified to tell you actually how to effectively date in that scenario. I'll give you my opinion though. All right. So, ladies, I need you to understand something. When you value yourself higher than the market values you, it is unattractive. I cannot tell you how unattractive it is to see a woman who is a solid 6, who says, I know my worth, and I'm not holding that. I'm not going to lower my standards for anybody. How many times have we heard this, guys? I'm not going to lower my standards for anybody. You know who does not say that? Hot chicks. Hot chicks don't talk about lowering standards. Average chicks talk about lowering standards. You know who's not mad and frustrated about the dating scene? Hot chicks. You know who don't get mad about being called a chick? Hot chicks. If any of these things bother you, you're likely an average chick thinking you're hot. Okay? We're talking now. Here's where the rubber meets the road. Can you be a 5, 6, or 7 and land a Henry? One of these $300,000 or more, 350. Let's just ask the question. That's the burning question. Can I be a average looking woman and land an above average man, a 5% man, a top 10%, a top 5% man? Ladies, what do you think? Let's talk about the woman that's more likely going to ask this question. I got a college degree. I got a good job. I got no kids. Can I be, but I'm a 5, 6, or 7. Can I land a high value? Can I land one of these guys making $325,000, $350,000, as a senior partner in this firm? Raw 8 says yes. Huh. All right. Okay, first off, we don't discuss athletes, entertainers. They don't count in these discussions. I don't care about Denzel's wife. I don't care about. I'm talking about people who have to go work for their money. No offense to those guys, but see, we're going to stay in reality. See, notice what's going on. Sevens. I'm going to just tell you, no, you can't. Why do I say that? Because for the infinitesimally small amount of you who can, it's negligible. Think how about I set that question up. Why can you be a 5 where there's half of you look like half of the women out there look like you? Or 6 where 40% of the women out there look like you? Or 7 where 30% of the women look like you? And you think you can get a man that's earning the top 10 or top 5%. Those numbers don't even make sense. No, you can't. And you're going to come in and give me, well, so-and-so did and so-and-so did it. There's only one way you can, the way a 5, 6, or 7 can get you cannot get a Henry. You can get a hit squad, but you can't get a Henry. See, my job is to tell you the truth. You can believe what you want to. You can get a hit squad. So that means you better get him before you get out of college. You better get him before age 20, before he turns 25. You better get him before he turns 25. I mean, you better have married him before he's 25. You better be Miss Hit Squad and have a kid in there to tighten up, to seal the deal. And you better stay. If you're a 5, 6, or 7 and you marry a hit squad, you better do whatever you better hang on to that man. You better stay on him like a tick on the bulldog or whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. See, what's funny is you see a lot of 5, 6s, and 7s. You see a lot of 7s who are divorced. Why? Why are so many 7s divorced? Because you think you're hotter than you really are. And you divorced your guy you had, and you out here in the market, and now you're a permanent side chick. Why are you talking about Serena Williams and all this? Michelle Obama score. Michelle Obama is about a 4 in my opinion. She is not an attractive woman to me. Four, 5 maybe. I mean, he used one of the Tommy Sotomayor's line. Michelle Obama looked like a dude I used to play pickup basketball with. Had mad handles. I mean, the jawline and the shoulders. So, what I want to do is I want to really have a simple. If you have some questions for me, though, ladies, because my job here is not to insult you or hurt your feelings or anything like this, but as an image consultant, I will tell you that for me to cut off a revenue stream, that should let you know. I need you to ask yourself a question. Rebecca Lynn Pope, a well-known matchmaker here in the Atlanta area, stopped working with women, black women in particular. Black women is who she stopped working with. Why would a business cut out a revenue stream? Rebecca Lynn Pope said it became too much of a hassle. Because she would come back with these pilots and former Falcons and this and that, and it was still never good enough. And inevitably, it's not good enough because these women think their value is higher than they are. Well, I'm just talking about your looks, your image. I don't care about your resume. Henry's not judging you on your resume until your looks matter. Let me go ahead and round that out. High value men, Blake Henry, Blue Henry, they ain't judging your job, your resume. For all you women to think, yeah, that's what your mouth said, Kevin, but I'm making 6 figures in a law firm downtown and I date. Yeah, you date. You don't date. You have not been proposed to by a higher value. You ain't been proposed to by the man you want. Those guys are not going to propose to you. They're not going to LTR you because you're not attractive enough for them. Men judge you solely on your attraction first. And after your attraction meets minimum standards, then he takes everything else into consideration. What does that mean? Well, we had sex. Will date me? Yes, but he's not serious with you. He wants to keep it friendly. When a guy, if you are one of these 5, 6, or 7 women who are a bona fide career woman with a good career, solid head on your shoulders, a condo or a house and driving your Beamer and all this, and you got all these guys on your phone, I need you to just remember Molly on Insecure. Molly is the archetype of this. That's what I'm talking about. A woman like Molly. Molly in the real world would never marry a high value man. Ever. Because the men she wants don't want her. And the men she qualifies for, she don't want them. And why is that? Because she thinks she's hotter than she is. But as usual, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just an image consultant. I'm just a guy who actually works with women and used to work with women and help them actually. I've had, last year, 7 couples got married. And who credit my information helping them get down the aisle. And I'm not a marriage consultant. I'm not a marriage matchmaker. But when I did work with women, oh yeah. I got receipts to show. But I work on, when people have asked me, why don't you show this, why don't you show that? Because when you're a client of mine, when you actually purchase my service, you're covered by a non-disclosure agreement. I have to have someone who actually volunteers to share their information before I would even contemplate it. How many people volunteer to talk about their plastic surgery? Most people want to keep that to themselves. Now, I need to know who thinks the ladies that think I got this wrong. The women who think I got it wrong are like, you know what you're talking about. I can get I can land. I'm single by choice. I'm single by choice. I got dudes hollering at me. I'm entertained. Remember old girl last other night? I'm entertained. Should I entertain this and should I entertain that? And I got all these high. Think about 2 nights ago. Should I entertain this or entertain that? Entertain this or entertain that? Open the floodgates and turned out you got a $56,000 a year dude knocking at your door. Ladies, this is more the norm. I'm making light of it because that's more of the norm. Let's talk about that person. That person, do not mention her name in the chat room. That person said she was a 9 or a 10, and she said it in a way. Like, are you kidding me? And she honestly, from her vibe on the way she presents herself, she really thinks she's the ish. And I'm like, that don't work on us. See, ugly men who are so confident and so accomplished to where they ugly, but they ain't ugly, where they ugly cute, that works for men. It doesn't work for women. There is no amount of, damn, girl, she got sass and such and so forth that's going to overcome your lack. She's not an ugly woman by any stretch of the imagination, but never, ever was that woman a 9 or a 10. Ever. Ever. Not even close. And that's the level of delusion. You could take that particular person and I could throw, and I could just hundreds, thousands, especially, come on, let's talk about it. And who's in there getting timed out? See, it looks like it stinks down there. That's all right, Ebony. I mean, you can let him time. He wasn't rude. That wasn't nice, but now I need y'all moderators. That does not mean y'all need to be like, hall monitors looking to write fines, okay? I need you to the egregious stuff. Like if he's, look like she stinks down there. Okay, that's not nice. But it ain't bad either. It's still a man's channel. These are not women. So I'm going to look through what y'all are moderating to see what y'all doing. Lori Stunning. And Lori was a former, why are you asking the lover girl, asking people, do they like the Kardashians? Why are you asking them anything? Why don't you ask me? Why the lover girl, ask me the question. Ask me the question. Lori is, as I understand it, she was a former, she was really down with them D-boys. So ladies, why, the older you get, like Rihanna, somebody says Rihanna was a 9. She was a 9. Yes, Rihanna was a 9. Not a 10, a 9. Then she turned 30. And what happened to Rihanna? What happens at 30, ladies? According to men on this side, you automatically lose a point. I don't even like your name in here, man. I don't want, dude. You gonna change your name to come over here, man. Hey, homie. You gonna change your name to be over here. We don't do that. No. I don't want you coming into my chat room with that name. What the hell's wrong with you? See, listen, got people in there talking about. Oh, my camera's out of focus. What the hell just happened? Hell to the no. Okay. So, what can you do as a woman to help increase? What can you do as a woman to help actually increase your level of attractiveness? Okay. Understand something. The biggest thing you can do to actually increase your physical attractiveness is to lose the weight. Lose the weight. It is far easier. Let me tell you something. And I make no mistake. I mean, I know I'm a different kind of guy. I like pretty women. I've always been known. Anybody who knows me knows that I like the prettiest of the pretty women. But I don't expect every woman to be like that. I expect. Let me make it real clear. I expect fives, sixes, and sevens to be the most coupled, most married, most LTR'd group of people. Let me make that clear. That's who should be the most married, the most coupled, the most LTR. Not the eights, nines, and tens. These are the minority people. You're the people in the middle. And why, in my image consultant opinion, why are so many, in particular, since there are a lot of black women here, why are so many women who are fives, sixes, and sevens single? And one of the biggest reasons for that is the weight. I'm going to say it that way. I'm not going to be rude about it. It's the weight. Jessica, I see you. It is the weight. 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 Trust me. Miss J, Jillian, in here. Trust me. If you are 175 pounds, you would be amazed at and a five. You would be amazed at how much better your prospects would be if you were 125 pounds. I don't think you ladies really understand how much this weight is really making you unattractive. Okay, let me try to talk. Jessica, give me a second. I see you in the chat room. Let me try to talk about this in a professional way. What weight does for you as a man is it makes a man look at you. Why is the waiting room not getting? Let me go ahead and put you back in the waiting room for a second, Jessica. What the weight does for you, when a man sees a woman with fuller face and midsection that's larger arms, larger legs, just what we're talking about. The first thing in our primitive mind, she looks like she's already had another man's children. That's the first signal. The first signal, if she is of marrying or if she's of fertile age, she's already reproduced for another man. Our DNA, our genes say, don't go there. Go to a virginal woman. Okay? That's number one. Number two, it also goes to health. This woman, even if she hasn't reproduced, is less likely to be able to have a healthy pregnancy. Preeclampsia, all these other kind of things, bed rest, she's going to gain additional weight. If you're already a large woman, you're looking at another 30 to 50 pounds. There have been women who have gained as much as 100 pounds in pregnancy. If you're 200 pounds, what are you going to shoot up to 300? 280? 260? Still too much. All right. You look like you already had another man's child, the unhealthy pregnancy. But then outside of that, full faces like that do not pass the Fibonacci sequence. They're not symmetrical. They're the weight, ladies. It's simply the weight. It's unattractive. Guys start looking you in your arms. Ooh, let me see. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's the weight, ladies. The weight is what's keeping you single. How many women think it? How many? If you think I'm not, if you think not, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and hear from you, Jessica, and I'm going to finish my monologue. But the weight does a lot to keep average women, and when I mean average is five, sixes, sevens. It does a lot to keep you single. What's going on, Jessica? What you got for me? Hey, what did I get wrong? So what did I get wrong? Okay, do you have any children? Okay. How tall are you? Hmm. How much do you weigh? You want my help? You got to tell me the truth. Hmm. Do you have any medical issues? Well, I mean, any medical issues that would cause you to gain that kind of weight? Okay. But did you have that weight on you before your knee problems? Okay. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and cut to the chase. Let me cut to the chase. I broke my right ankle on both sides, dislocated to the back and right on a 100 mile an hour bike, 100 mile bike race, and yeah, and then this one has been smashed in between cars. Two, but I still exercise. The day the doctor released me, I was on my bike. What it is you have, unless you have hyper Graves disease or something like that, you're gonna tell me what I feel like you're about to tell me is you grew up like any the typical black person, poor diet, lack of exercise. Okay, but you weren't screwing nobody in your family. You weren't hooking up with nobody. I mean, you want to talk? Let's talk. Okay. Did you have a father? Okay. Was your father married to your mother? All right. Did you go to public school? You were homeschooled. All right. Are you an only child? Are all of your siblings large? Is your father large? Your mother large? All right. There you go. You grew up like the average black person, unhealthy, lack of exercise. That's what I said 3 minutes ago, but you told me no. I know what I'm talking about. I don't really give a shit, Jessica. I don't have to be right on every specific. See, listen, listen, sis. Okay, you want to know where you go from here, right? Well, you don't have to be respectful. I've been married twice. I mean, what is it you want? I mean, I know what I heard, and it's like, okay, you want to be married? Don't no man want to deal with this. I don't care. I don't care what size you are. So I don't have to be. I don't have to be right on everything. Just in the. I just in the essence of the things. At the end of the day, did you go to college? Okay, so you have a high school diploma, and did you graduate from high school? You were homeschool, right? All right, but are you living away from home? I mean, do you okay? So the point I'm getting to is you were educated, whether homeschool or not. You didn't go to school, but you left and went into the world, and you can see the world with your eyes. So from the age of 18 to what, 29, what have you done to get your body weight down to a size that where you know that can help you land a man? You have not. Mm-hmm. Right.
A lot of people would like embrace it. They'll be like, "Oh, she looks," you know what I'm saying? Like, and it felt like, "Oh, this is a good thing." So I had to like, work through all of that
Okay. So
and
let me
try
let
to.
me let me let me let me bounce it back for the audience because they couldn't hear you. So I'm talking to Jessica. Jessica is 29. She's 5'7", 240 pounds, and she said she don't want to go into 30 this weight. She said she likes to be married. Um, she was, and I asked her a little bit about her family. You know, her parent, mother and father are married. They're both large people. She has siblings. Most of them are large. She was homeschooled. My point ultimately was this. She didn't go to college. And my point ultimately was after you left the mother and father's house at 18 years old, whatever age you stopped being homeschooled, you've had at least 10 years to get out from under your parents' way of looking at things, and you've seen the world. And I asked the question, what have you done from the time you not homeschooled to now to get the weight under control? And the answer was not much. My follow up question is this. You said this has been a recent movement, right?
Yes.
Okay. What made you decide to start looking at this now?
I wasn't happy, or I wasn't fulfilled, and
Uh,
I just realized how many things were landing on each other, overlapped each other.
Have you
Like
ever
I
had a
wasn't.
long term relationship?
No, no, no.
Are you a virgin?
No, I waited a long time, but not no, not anymore.
Okay. So it's not okay. You waited a long time.
Hmm.
What's the longest relationship you ever had with a man?
It was a it was a month. I just really didn't like. Have you
Okay.
ever heard? There was this song by Mary
No,
J.
no, no,
Blige, and he
no,
was
no,
talking
no, no,
about
no, no, no,
how she
no,
was a
no, no,
mess,
no,
and
no,
I
no,
did
no,
not
no,
want to
no,
go
no,
there
no, 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 no.
with anybody.
Listen.
If it was just because.
Okay. You're not listening. I need you to listen to me. Um, you've been in a relationship a month with a man, and you're almost 30. Um, I need you to unmute yourself, but I can't have when I start speaking. I need you to go ahead and just let me talk because
Okay.
okay, your mother and father are married. What is your father? Does your father want you to get married?
They haven't expressed anything about it. No.
Do you how many siblings do you have?
I have four.
All women, all girls.
No. Two are boys, two
Okay,
girls.
okay. And you're the oldest, right?
Yes.
Are the two girls, are they still in school, or are they over
No.
18?
They're all over 18. Yes.
Okay, and are they overweight too?
Yes.
And are they all single,
No,
unmarried?
not one of them. One's married.
Okay. So what I'm not understanding here is if she could get married. I was going to ask you is how's your father helping you with this? Because it's really unusual to hear a woman your age that's only had a 1 month relationship. But when we're talking about it, I can tell you your social skills need work.
Okay.
And that is not uncommon for people who are homeschooled.
Agreed.
And what have you, so what did you, okay. So you didn't go to college.
No.
So what'd you do from the time you 18 to now?
I worked.
Where?
And I didn't go to college because I thought what I wanted to do didn't require college.
What you work doing what? What's your profession?
I'm a manager at a fast food place.
Okay.
Don't okay. I know it's a bad all the way around. I get that. I'm just trying to figure out how to go from here. It's not that I don't understand what you're saying. It's hard to even face it sometimes. I know where I am. I know that I'm completely not where I should be. I'm trying
Where
to
should you be?
figure out. I should at least be in a place where I'm able to say yes and no to certain things. Right now, I'm in a place of where
Do
I'm
you
always
live in your own?
scratching
Do you
to-
live in your own place?
I live with my sister. We live together. It's a mutual thing. It's not like we're like I live with my sister.
How much are you making annually?
25.
Okay. And what city you live in?
Baton Rouge.
Okay.
That's a lot of information.
Well, you ain't paying
Don't
me.
have nobody
You ain't
stopping
paying
me.
me. Here's the thing. You ain't paying me. You welcome to go to my website and pay $949 for an hour. But you can't afford that.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa.
I mean, you want me to? You called in, so you wanted me. See, I don't understand you folks who call in and say you want some help and you ain't paying for it, and I need to.
No, that's not it. It's I don't like giving out a lot of personal
Well,
information. That's all.
then why would you call
No,
into
I
a
mean,
public? See, this is what I
talking
mean,
on
man. This is what I mean, Jessica. Let me be honest with you. Don't nobody care about you down in Baton Rouge. Don't nobody know you. I don't have your number. You're just a voice on the phone.
Got you.
But what I said, your social skills are lacking. Even people, when the sound was off, could hear that something was going amiss. And what I'm trying to understand is, man, if you're 5'7", 240 pounds, and a fast food manager at going on 30 years old, you've got a lot of problems. You can't even take care of you can't even take care of yourself, and that's going to be what it's going to have to be if you don't get with a man. And what's going to be problematic with a man, outside of your height and weight, is your lack of social grace.
Okay.
Because if you think the questions I'm asking, why would if somebody wanted to date you, don't you think some grown person's gonna say, "Hey," they're gonna ask you your age. If they meet you at a convenience store, they're gonna ask you what you do, and from that point, they're gonna ascertain how much you make. That's why you didn't want to say you worked at fast food, because we all know that's not a. So my thing is this: why do you can't live? You can't. Why such you're chuckling and stuff, and I'm like, is this funny? I don't think it's funny, man. I'm tell you why I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny because
I don't think it's funny.
Okay, listen.
I'm trying not to cry. That's all.
What?
I'm trying not to cry. That's all.
Okay, well, crying is there for a reason. But ma'am, you got to do something. You don't have any. Okay. When somebody looks at a woman who's your height and your weight and your education, it just looks like unmotivated, unmoored, and that's not attractive to a man unless you are just fall out fine. But you. That's why I said earlier. What's keeping you from dropping 100 pounds? Because that's what it's going to take.
I understand that. It was really just.
And for the people in the audience, there's no underlying medical condition. There's no grave disease or nothing. This is a matter of, I said it, you were raised like an average black person, and I got pushed back, and then it turned out to be she's raised like the average black person from a big family. You know good and well you weigh too much.
Right. I do.
And so it does not take a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist to know you need to go to a gym. And
I know.
whatever your needs are and everything else, I don't there's still ways to get it done.
Right.
Why not do that?
I have been working out. It's just I know that it's gonna take an extreme push. I was
Go ahead. How many days a week are you working out?
3 or so, whatever I don't work.
Well, it can't be 3. You need to be in there 6.
Right.
See, this is why I feel for so many of you young women. You're not under your father sounds like he failed you. I'll just be straight up. He's failed you, allowing you to be the height and weight you are you're not prepared for the world. So, but his work ended. Whether he did a good job or not, I'm going to say he probably did the best that he could. But that does not mean it's your responsibility to do something. After
Right.
age 18, you're an adult.
Yes.
So
It took a long time for me to realize that I couldn't blame them
you couldn't what?
for where I was.
You couldn't do what?
It took a long time for me. It took a long time for me to realize I couldn't blame my parents
Right.
for where I was.
Right.
That's
Right.
and it's easier to blame.
Yeah.
It's easier to feel anger. It's not easier. It's more
feel
comfortable.
feel anger for what? I mean, they may not have
because my dad is a talented person.
He's a what?
And my mom is talented too, and my family is talented, but we're not where we should be. We all have very natural talents.
Whoa. Hold on. Pump your brakes.
Yeah, I understand. It was a lot of things that, like, I know I didn't have a very bad life.
Okay. Hold on. Your father married your mother, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how long have they been married?
It's gonna be 30 years.
All right. Well, even though he may not have been, when I say he failed you, I said allowing you to get to the height and weight you are. But it sounds like he married your. Hold on. Because when you say judge them, he's talented, your mom is talented, everybody's talented, and you should be better off. See, this is a problem with you millennials in this Instagram generation. Looking at Instagram, comparing. Who are you comparing your family to?
I'm not comparing them.
Well, you said we're not where we should be. Where's that? What does that mean? You're in one of the poorest states. Listen.
What I mean.
Listen.
You asked me a question.
So no, you listen. All right. You're in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents, your family, your father and mother had a responsibility to make sure you were fed, protected, secure, and educated. Did they do that?
Yes.
Then they did their job.
I get that. Yeah.
So when I say he failed you is to allow you to get to be the height and weight you are and not let you know that, baby girl, you can't be that size and get a man. That's what I'm talking about. But mama got her man. Sis got her man. At the end of the day, what I'm hearing is a lot of outward stuff. And I'm not hearing a lot of stuff that you're doing. I don't care how broke you are. You can go to you can go to Planet Fitness for $10 a month. Yes?
Yes.
All right, then why are you only in there 3 days a week?
I was only doing it when I'm off.
Ma'am, I don't want to hear that BS. I'm quite sure I work more than you. And I'm in the gym. See, you got a problem, your weight. And the solution is simple. Work out, drink water, eat more healthy. And you got to go do that. But every time I ask you, why aren't you in there more, there's a reason. There is no magic bullet. There's no magic pill.
I got that.
But what it sounds to me is though you really lack the motivation to do what's necessary to get the outcome it is you say you want. But that's no one's problem but yours. That's not your parents' problem.
Right.
But
I
let's say the other side. Let's say this continues to go down this way. What does life look like
no,
for?
it's not. It's not.
Okay.
I've lost weight and I'm keep going. I'm not doing
How
this.
much weight have you lost?
I've lost 20 pounds
In what time frame?
in a couple of months.
Okay. And what's your goal weight?
I don't know. It's gonna be around 160.
It's still too much weight.
I'm not excusing myself, but I don't my my body carries weight a certain way. And
Ma'am,
I
ma'am,
don't look
ma'am, ma'am,
I no
ma'am,
wait, no
ma'am,
look,
ma'am,
I don't
ma'am,
I think less than 160
ma'am.
is gonna be under 160.
No. See, I want people in the chat room. This is someone coming to an image consultant telling, yeah, but the way my body is set up. No, you're human. But the reason I muted her is because this is an issue in the Black community. You have women who have allowed themselves to get into the size they are, and then when someone tells you that you need to be at a normal weight, she resists. This is why I'm trying to be as easy as I can, man, but 160 is still too much. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and open it up because, I don't know what it else, how, go ahead and unmute yourself. I don't know what you want me to do to assist you. Sounds like you know everything you need to do. But I'll be honest, to me,
really asking.
to me, ma'am,
I was just
to me, ma'am, it does not sound like you're really ready to do the work. You're ready to do what you want to do, but you're not ready to do what you have to do. And if you don't do what you have to do, if you lost 20 pounds in 2 months, okay, and if you've been a large girl since you were in high school or high school age, that means the majority of your life you've been unhealthy. That means even when you get down to 160 pounds, the likelihood of you staying at that weight is it's not very likely. Fluctuate. Problem with weight over and over and over. And then once you get down to 160, then what? There's still people skills and stuff that needs to be done. One of your biggest problems is you don't make enough money to do anything. Because I would say, have you talked to a therapist or a counselor or somebody? Because there are things going on with you, ma'am, that I'm not qualified to diagnose, but I know it when I hear it. But at making $12.50 an hour, this is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. And I'm from Oklahoma, where I see a lot of this. And you're 29 right now. It's going to really be tight when you're doing this at 45. I've seen it all the time growing up. And I can understand the feelings and everything, but I have to be honest with you and tell you, I hear it, but you need to turn those tears into motivation to get yourself in the gym 6 days a week and get on a healthy lifestyle and and go talk to whoever, I don't know, government assistance, state program, whatever company you work for, they got an employee assistance line. You need to go talk to somebody because you're living below, almost at the poverty line. And the people I talked with and typically over here are way on the other side. So I'm trying to give you what I can give you, but you got to increase your income to be able to take care of yourself. Because if all this comes down to, trying to a man you want to get married,
This really was what it was about.
well, what is it?
I'm just trying to present myself in the world the way I want to be.
Well,
That was about that too, but that's a part of it.
okay.
It was the whole thing. But I appreciate your truthfulness.
Well,
I do.
presenting yourself to the world, but you also got to be realistic with where you're at,
Yes.
and presenting yourself to the world is a hell of a lot easier when you start doing the work. See, like I said at the beginning of our call, I'm not hearing the desire to really do it.
Yeah, I've always had motivational problems.
Well, and unfortunately, that it shows itself in a person's weight. That's one of the first things I said when I was talking to people. What folks associate with this shows up in the weight, and um, unfortunately, especially our black women, that leads to a life of being basically a spinster, a childless woman. Um, and my aunts were like that. You don't want to go through life like that. But I wish you all the best. I do.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah, guys. See, I don't know why I cut so much of that call. See, let me tell you something. Why tears don't affect me. I mean, I can hear them, but I can't. What are you crying? What are we crying for? I got to be real. What are we crying for? Cry, then what? There has to be some more what. And far too often, especially in the black community, we've stopped at the, oh, this hurt. This hurts. No, I look at what's going to go on down the line. If you don't get, so many of our women are in this position. 80% of black women are overweight. 80% of those are obese. Let me see. I want to hear from the ladies. This is about overvaluing themselves. Ladies overvaluing themselves or trying to figure out where they rank in five, six, and sevens. Um, Katrina, what's going on? Katrina, Katrina, this is wrong. Well, goodbye, Mel. Somebody get Mel out of here. Yes, Katrina. Let me go ahead and get you up out of here. Where'd you go? Do 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 do. He has no right to tell a woman what I just told you. Yeah, sure I do. And you have no right to be in my chat room. Don't come back. People like Mel are your enemy, ladies. That's I want to. I'm go ahead and I want to go ahead. People like Mel are your enemy. People who just want to tell you it's okay, everything will be all right. Pray it away. God got a plan for you. Blah blah blah. Other than when you recognize you're dealing with an image consultant who's not going to allow you to tell me that 160 pounds is a good weight on a woman at your body weight. No, that just shows how far we've gone as people. No, and unfortunately, there's is an enabler. And I like to point people like that out. Mel, ladies, you need to run from men like that. You need to run from guys like that. They're the reason. They're enabling you to stay stuck. Guys like that, if that's a man, it's guys like that who want to keep you in an unhealthy position so they can take advantage of you. More likely than not, let her stay in a position where she feels vulnerable. So he ain't got to do nothing. So no, that's why I make it very clear. I only want to deal with high value men over here because high value men move in a completely different way than dusty minded men. I said this last night in my group, and I'm going to share it here. Look to your left, ladies. Look to your left. Look to your right. If you don't see men dressed like men, standing like men, speaking like men, acting like men, FBI women should exit stage left. This includes your most liked or preferred establishments. Ladies, CIA men are your best barometer of any environment. So if you hear a bunch of men telling you, go ahead, dream your dream, sis, manifest your this and that, da 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 da, yeah, you choose to stay there if you want to. I don't know what that is. And if it's a woman, she's in it. If male was a guy, it's one thing, but it's even worse if it's a woman. If male is a woman, it's even worse. I'll tell you why. Because she should know better. Women should care more. Women typically got each other's back. But see, misery loves company. And I guarantee you, male, if it was a woman, and then a woman is wearing a size 2 or size 4, she's probably wearing a size 24. Run from these people. Black folk, black women, you need to start calling out the people that keep you stuck. Not the men. You need to start calling out the women that keep you stuck. Gigi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, yes. I was calling because I think you are incorrect
Okay, about what?
when you say that 5, 6, and 7s aren't able to get, or the majority of them aren't able to, get high earning men.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's incorrect, and the reason why I say that is because I have, and I'm not talking about a one-off. I am around a lot of high earning men all the time. And but I will say that these are white men. I'm not around.
Ding 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 ding. Are you black?
But
Are you black?
Yeah, I'm black. Yes, I'm
Okay,
black.
so tell me the high earning black men that you are around who are married to 5, 6s, and 7s, and they picked them after they were high earning men.
Yeah, I don't know many high earning black men. So
So you want to tell me I'm wrong, and then tell me you don't know many high earning black men?
Oh, so you just referring to
Well,
black?
but
I
hold
thought you
on,
referring to all men.
hold on.
Okay.
But no matter how you slice it, though, we can go across the board. You're trying to tell because all my clients aren't black. Are you trying to tell me that they're high earning white men, $300,000 plus, pick 5, 6s, and 7s after they become high earners?
Yeah, what I'm telling you is that, like, where I live, I live in a high earning state. Like, I live in New York, the New York City metro area.
Okay, well
right?
then let's adjust
And
it. Then we need to adjust it for New York. See, the $300,000 that's in Dallas, Houston, and Austin. New York is roughly 268% of the cost of living. So adjust that number. You're looking closer to 800,000 for New York. I lived in Manhattan for 4 years. What do you want to tell me about Manhattan?
okay, so well, come on, the majority of the people in New York don't make 800,000.
I'm not talking about the majority of people. I said the top 10%, top 5% men.
The top 10, but if you're referring to the top 10%, not even the top 10% is making 800,000.
Top 10%, top 5% men, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
understand something.
Okay,
Understand something. I lived in Manhattan for almost 5 years. I give the numbers based upon the cost of living 100%. Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Atlanta. If you watch my show, I say you're going to have to add more if you're in LA, San Francisco, Boston, New York City.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean,
Okay.
so I'm not incorrect. So, but what you're telling me is $300,000 on a white guy is roughly around 75. Well, it's not even 75. It's roughly about three, roughly $80,000 a year. If they are 80,000,
What I'm saying is that I like here in New York, right? I know a lot of people that make, way more money than that, or are even billionaires, right? What I'm saying is that their wives are average looking. They're not overweight women.
when
I
did they
didn't say
get
that
their
they're not
wives? Is a
over,
question.
I mean, in various points of their
No, no,
lives. Some of
no,
them did
ma'am,
marry
ma'am,
young,
ma'am, ma'am. The average millionaire, billionaire marries their wife early on. They don't marry. They don't marry their wives, average wives, after they get rich. Look, Bill and Melinda Gates are perfect for that. Come on now.
no, the people that
Okay, I
some
don't care
people that
about
I'm
the
referring
people you're
to,
around, ma'am. I'm okay. Due respect, man.
they
Due
already have
respect,
money.
man. Due
They already
respect,
have.
ma'am. Due respect. Um, you may tell black women or tell women that five. Are you trying to tell women that the average five, six, or seven can get a higher earning man?
What I am. This is what I'm saying. I never really got to complete my complete thought. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that these women that they have married are average looking. They're facially, they're average. They're not
Who are you talking,
over.
ma'am? And that's when I asked you a question. These women, and I had to clarify. See, a lot of women like you like to speak in generalities. I'm just being specific. I said, you said they're white men, not black men. I said, well, what
Mhm.
about black men? I don't know many black men. All right, let's speak about the white men, the women that they marry. How old are you?
I'm over
And
35.
the men you're talking about, are they in your age range?
No, a lot of them are not in my
Are
age
they
range.
younger or
No,
older?
they're
And
older.
have they been married for 5 years or less?
The majority of them have been married for 20 years or so.
So did you not hear when I said if you want to get one of these men, you got to get them where?
Yes, you're
What did I
correct,
say, ma'am?
Kevin.
What
What I'm
did I
saying,
say?
you're correct. Some of them did get married early on when they were in their 20s, but a lot of them did get married after
So
30.
how?
That's what I'm telling you.
All right. You can go ahead and believe Gigi if you like to. She can't even make her own point. And my question is, are you? How old is your husband?
I'm not married.
What's your dog in this fight?
Kevin, I'm just giving you my observation
Okay,
on
you can
life.
give me your
I'm not
observation on life, but
telling
ma'am,
you.
I mean, okay, you're giving me your anecdotal opinion, and you can't even make it make sense. You came in and said I was wrong. Okay, ma'am, that's what you said. I think you're wrong. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, when you say that, you need to come prepared to tell me what I was wrong about, and you can't even make that make sense.
Okay. I just what I was trying to explain to you was that many of these men, yes, some
Many,
of them got
many
married.
men. Okay, how about this? Many. Let's define many. What percentage of these men? What percentage of these high earning, high value men? What percentage married their wives later in life?
Okay, yeah, let's talk that. Okay, about 30% of them married their
Thirty
wives
percent.
after.
So 30%. 30%. I'll
Right.
give you 30%. Let's give you 30% married their wives later in life. But then the majority of them marry them when?
Prior.
So you want to tell women to bank on the majority or or the minority? Which
It's
one would
not
you want to tell
my
women?
point,
No, if you were
Kevin.
going to go advise women, would you advise them towards what the majority of people do or the minority of people do? What would you do if you're really trying to help them?
I would
If
invite.
you're really trying to help them,
I would advise them on what is being okay. If you want to say the majority, you can say that. But what
no, no.
I'm
I'm asking
saying
what
is
would you
that
say? I'm
I
asking you
don't
what I'm
advise.
asking you what would you say? Forget what I would say. You said the majority of these men find their wives early in life. The minority find them later. If you were advising women, what would you advise them to do?
Oh, yeah, I would definitely tell them to find their husband early on in life. Yes, yes, I would tell
So
them
how am
that.
I wrong?
No, I say you're wrong when you tell five, six, and sevens that they're not they have to settle and they can't get
Ma'am,
high
okay,
earning men.
man,
That's
oh
what I say
no,
you're wrong
no,
at.
no. See, again, this is another some of that. Don't hurt women's feelings. Don't discourage them. All right. If you were running a matchmaking agency and a 5, 6, or 7 came through the door and she was 35, would you tell her she has a great chance at finding a man who's a high earner? Or would you tell her she has what kind of chance would you tell her she has? What percentage?
If I saw a woman, it depends on everything about her.
If she was you,
if she's well dressed,
if she was you,
if she was me, if she was me with my personality, I mean, she might not be able to attract one because my personality is not one of those personalities.
But if you were going to attract one, what would you need to do?
She would need to be a little bit more agreeable, probably. A little bit kinder, softer.
So do you think what you're telling people is? Do you think what you have for women is more helpful, or what I have for them?
What I have for women is helpful.
I asked you a specific question. Do you think what you have for women is more helpful, or what I have for them?
I think what I have for women is more helpful.
You think what you have for women is more helpful, or what I have for them?
I just told you.
You honestly believe that? Again, ladies, these women are your enemy. Gotcha, bitch. These women are your enemy. They don't want a man to tell you the truth. They want you to continue to believe in sunshine and fairy tales. And when you nail her down to even her numbers, she will lie to you. She will lie. She just lied to you twice. The math is very simple. But yet, when given a choice to be honest and help her sister, her woman's sister, she's going to lie to you to be right. Avoid women like this too. Because she ain't even been, have you been married?
No, I haven't.
Not surprising. Again, no dog in the fight, Gigi. No dog in the fight. You have no dog in the fight. You have no information that can help the women who want to marry these kind of men. You got.
Yes, my parents.
I don't give a shit about your opinion. Your opinion.
My parents were married.
I don't care about your parents. I said you. I said you. I said you. I said you.
Do you know why?
I said you. Again, black woman's pathology, shame, insults, guilt, and the biggest one, say it with me now, the need to be right. This woman is going to argue for the next hour to try to be right. When even her own argument, she undercut it. Avoid these kinds of women too. Young sisters, young women. These women are not here to help you. She came up here and told me, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong by telling the average 5, 6, or 7 woman that she cannot land a high value man because of the people I know in my area. I know lots of guys like this and like that. Oh, but there are white guys. Ask her about black guys. I don't know any black guys. All right. They're making $300,000 or more. Find out where you live. In New York. Oh, we need to adjust that up to be on the same level. Well, not a lot of people are doing that. No. We're going to stay right where it is. Top 5%, top 10%, top 10%, top 5% men. Where do they find their wives when they're average? Well, they do get them. When do they get them? How long they been married? 20, 30 years. So that means they got them early in life. Everything I said was right. But will this black woman say, you know what? I was wrong. I misunderstood. You're right, man. You're right on what you're saying and you're right by what you do. Nope. Gigi out in New York, who does not do this for a living and has no dog in this fight, because I ask her, what does your husband think? She ain't married. And she knows why she ain't married, because of this shit right here. That's why I did this. This is what's in your ear all the time. This is why so many black women are jacked up, because of women like this in your ear all the time, telling you that these men don't know nothing. But I asked a very simple question. If there's a woman over there trying to have this outcome, is what you're telling her going to be more helpful, or what am I telling her going to be more helpful? She is willing to drive you in a ditch to be right. That's what this woman is willing to do. Willing to drive you into a ditch just in order to be right, to prove a point that she ain't even willing to bank on. Sorry. Got no time for that. I'm serious. But I'll let you go ahead and say your final words as long as it's respectful.
My final word is just this. Can you hear me? My final word to the ladies out there: if you are a 5, 6, or 7, you can
Get off my phone. Five, 6, or 7, you can. You're a 5, 6, or 7, and you honestly think you're a 5, 6, or 7, and you're gonna have a chance of meeting a top 5 or a top 10%, a top 5% guy. You know the reality. And adults accept reality and deal according. They don't sit around. God gonna send it to me. See, if I flip this around and said, well, let's say you were a guy and you were just an average guy, or even a guy who was, in the top 40% of men, or even a guy who's in the top 30% of men, but he said he wanted an Instagram Amber Rose or whatever, you'd be like, you need to, what would they tell him, guys? You need to stay in your lane. Why do you think you could get that woman? The only way a guy like that could get a woman like that is that they had what? I'm serious, ladies. This is why I let ladies like this come through here. I let her speak. And she would have gone on and on and on and on. Hey man, energy salute, whoever that is. You need to stop typing in all caps, man. You will continue to be timed out. Can I give examples of 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s? I gave them. I'll give again. Just for sake of argument, go back to Good Times, the actress that played Thelma. Go back to Pam Grier. Thelma was a 7. Pam Grier is an 8. Jane Kennedy, she was big during the 70s. She is a 9. And Dorothy Dandridge, 10. You can flip Jane Kennedy, Dorothy Dandridge, and it has nothing to do with the skin complexion. It has much more to do with, Halle Berry is often thought of in that 9, 10 range too. Look, I really don't feel like arguing with a bunch of different women tonight. I really don't. I don't mind disagreement, but if you're gonna just outright lie to women, I can't. I can't have you just out here lying to women. Jane Kennedy, she was black. April, you need to mute the YouTube channel in the background. Okay, what did I get right or what did I get wrong? I can hear you, April. What did I get right or what did I get wrong?
I was going to speak on.
You need to turn off the YouTube.
How do I?
Who is an 8 or a 9? Pam Grier is an 8. I'm sorry. I'm trying to run a show, chick. April, you need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself on Zoom, and you need to shut the YouTube channel down in the background. Go ahead. So there we go.
Did I do
Yeah.
that?
So what do I have right
Did
or
I?
what do I have wrong?
I was just going to speak on about some African American men. A lot of times they want you to take care of them.
What the hell
There's a
does that
lot
have
of
to do with the subject we're talking about? About women who are sevens, eights, nine, accurately
and
ranking themselves. That's the subject tonight.
because I think a lot
Do
of
you have
yeah, I
something?
think a
Do
lot
you
of
have something
times
on that subject? Do you have something?
I'm trying
Do
to
you have
like
something on that subject?
well women that are those the numbers that you gave were like 6 through 7. A lot of times they
You got YouTube playing in the background, ma'am.
I don't know how to turn this off.
Okay,
I have no
close
idea.
the window that has YouTube playing.
What?
Okay, do you have YouTube playing in the background? Or put on a headset or something like that.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, you got to come prepared to the show.
Yeah, I got a headset.
So my question is this: you
Oh
wanted to
well.
basically come in and roast black men. What's wrong with them?
No, 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 not at all.
Mm,
I wanted to get because a lot of times they, we're judged by how we look,
yeah.
and I understand.
Uh huh.
I understand it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think
Oh,
women should be judged by how they look?
I put on the
Do you think
headset.
women
I
should be
have the
judged
headset
by
on.
how they look?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah. Well, no, I didn't want to roast them.
Okay.
I didn't want to roast them.
Yeah. See, what you're doing, ma'am, is
Yeah, I
you're
can't.
behind. She's behind. She's watching. She's listening to the YouTube stream, and YouTube is 30
Oh, I
minutes
don't know how
behind,
to
30
do it.
seconds behind. So I've told her to shut down YouTube, but
I'm
you
trying to
still
get
won't
it.
do it. Um,
Oh
but
man.
yeah. And now,
I think a lot of men do that, and I think they're not looking beyond looks because looks fade.
no,
Yes.
but looks is what we want, ma'am. Looks is what we want when we have our means and money. That's what they want.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to,
Hmm.
and I don't know how to get it off.
Well, that's something y'all we're gonna have to figure out now. You're gonna have to figure out how to work YouTube and Zoom and everything. You're gonna be calling into the shows. Got
Oh man, I could
you
most
okay? You
places.
have you got are you on a laptop? Okay.
Yes.
Are you watching the YouTube show? Are you watching the show?
No, I thought I clicked it
Okay,
off.
but when you look in the browser windows, you should be able to see if the show is still playing. But that's okay. Let's go.
Oh,
You hear me right now, right?
right.
Okay,
Yes.
so men should not. We're talking about do women accurately rank or rate themselves? And you were going to tell me do answer that question
Yeah,
first before you say what you were going to say. Do women accurately rank themselves?
I think so. They're encouraging themselves because a lot of media is just saying how ratchet we are, how
Okay, but
we act,
okay,
how we. I
how
mean,
about
it's
I'm talking
just
about
horrible.
individual women. Like, how would you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
7,
You'll
7.
rank yourself as a 7. How old are you? No, I mean just for my sake.
Can't say because I'm actually in law school,
Okay,
so
but you're a 7.
I'm gonna have to pass on
But you're
that.
a 7.
Say that
You
again.
rank yourself as a 7.
Yes.
Okay, so a 7 is like Thelma on Good Times. You remember Thelma Hopkins, as fine as she was?
I look to give you an actual. I look like Sharon Lill. I have the same
Who's that?
nose, same. I have a dimple in the
Uh
half.
huh.
I have like a beauty mark on my
Right.
nose, so
Mm-hmm.
and I have a lot of professors. They just stop and they look at me like they can't
Mm-hmm.
believe it, and I'm like, "Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?"
cause you fine.
You're looking at black women like you've never
Right.
seen,
So you
and I'm
are you
like,
what
"That's
city? What state do you
insanity."
live in?
Well, I was up in Massachusetts, but I'm in New
You're in
Jersey,
Jersey now.
so
Okay.
South
How tall
Jersey,
are you?
South. Oh, 5'4"
And about how much
and
do
a
you weigh on
quarter,
a good day?
133.
130. And you were 7. You should be killing the
Yes,
game.
133. I'm a little
You
over.
should be killing the game.
It well, they want you to look fly, and I don't
But a
look
7
fly,
is for but a
so I'm
fly.
kind of
But
invincible.
7 is Thelma was pretty. You said you were 7.
Yeah, and a lot of them they want you fly, They want you to take
Oh,
care of them.
no.
it's
We're
just-
not going to talk about what you talking. Who you talk about? See, over here, I don't talk about dusty dudes. Over here, I talk about men who are making about $125,000 a year for themselves. Men who, if they take on a wife and kids, they can afford to her not to have to ever work and still have 3 babies and send them kids to college. That's this show. I don't want to hear shit about dusty dudes that maybe you have run across. Talk to me about what those men want.
I haven't been around those men.
Okay. Well, why ain't you been around them? Don't they exist?
Oh yeah.
Then why?
They all
So
exist.
here's what I got to understand, April, is that if those men exist, and you know they exist, and you ain't going to law school, right?
Yeah.
Why the hell are you around all these dusty dudes if you know these other dudes exist and you're in law school?
Because I basically just started. I haven't been in there, like 2 years or 3 years.
You ain't 12 years old.
No, not at all.
So what? You know what I tend to hear when I hear women say this kind of stuff? What I tend to hear is women like that tend to have a narrative. And they got to have a narrative that works, that, these guys ain't crap. That's why I ain't got one. I don't have one because these men ain't about shit. They all dusty and want you to take care of them and all this other stuff. But see, that ain't what we got going on over here.
I hear you, and it's a shame. It's really a shame that
It's a shame what? It's a
of
shame
men
that it's a
they
shame.
wanna judge you.
Okay, let me give you some stats. 51% of black men are single and childless. You got that? 64% of black men are in the middle class. That means if you're dealing with dusty, busty men that want you to take care of them, it ain't because black men don't exist. It's because you can't attract them other ones.
Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, no, to the no, no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, no, no.
And I said, and I have no children, so
okay.
I mean, it's just really
you got no
different
kids, and
out
why?
here.
If you got no kids and you were 7 and in law school, why can't you find
because a lot of those men have ready-made children, a
Okay,
ready-made family.
no, ma'am. Okay,
Yes.
go back again. 51% of them have no children. That means more than half of black men have no kids. So you keep talking about the minority. I got the stats, man. Go to blackdemographics.com. 51% no kids, single.
I know you have 70% of black women who are not married. Fact.
But the point is, ma'am, I'm asking you why you keep talking about these guys got ready-made families when over half of them have no kids. Talk to me about the ones that have no kids and are in the middle class. Talk to me about those. Stop talking to me about these dusty dudes. Talk to me about the ones with no children and are in the middle class.
I honestly don't see him. It's the
You don't see him? You don't see him?
No.
And you a 7? These men love 7s.
I don't see them.
These men love 7s. They love them 7s, boy. I swear to God.
Yeah, but they all have children. It's just just amazes me.
They all have kids, man. They all have kids, right?
No, I don't have any. No.
No, you said they all have kids. You mean every man you meet has kids?
It just I can't understand it.
Hey, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why a lot of these guys have kids. Because you're going to the wrong places to meet the wrong kind of guys. You don't meet none of these men in law school?
Yeah, I see. And they have children.
Really? So every man you meet in law school got kids?
It's just the majority of them.
The majority of black men have no single and childless. Stop lying. Stop lying.
I'm just talking about at the law school that I'm at. So
okay, so what law school is that? Law school of deadbeat nigga?
Massachusetts School of Law.
So that's the school that enrolls deadbeats.
It's a lot of Africans there. It's
okay.
African Americans there.
Okay, but you live in the city with okay. So apparently, April, you have found a law school that enrolls deadbeats to become deadbeat attorneys. congratulations on accomplishing something that I have never heard of before. But I know a lot of it. Matter of fact, I have several clients who just graduated from law school. I know younger men. I know men in their 30s. I know men in their 40s and 50s, still single, childless. But you still ain't talked to me about the men that you like and that approach you up in Massachusetts. I mean, you're a 7. A 7 as a woman with no kids should have plenty of should have some decent men, right?
That's true. You would think, but it's not
But
like that.
right?
I know
No luck, huh?
it's not like that.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but do you think maybe, just maybe, do you think it could be maybe you're not a 7?
Not at all. Not if you look like Sharon Lill.
No. I'm saying you. I mean, I know Shell
Me.
Little.
That's what I'm saying. Me.
But you are. So it's not at all that you could just be average looking, right?
No.
Right.
If you look like Sharon Lill, no.
Okay. But so the problem ain't how you look. It's the problem is that you know.
Then I'm not fly. That's the problem.
It's not fly.
African American men, a lot
not
of them want
fly.
I don't have the look. I don't have the behavior. None of that.
But the look is a 7 though, man.
Yeah, but it's not a fly look. It's just I look very young to people. They can't believe it. They just look at me like
you look. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, young looking women. I know. I mean, young looking women. I mean, especially if an older woman and you're younger looking.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing for men. I don't get it.
Really? Because they look at me like stunned.
Right.
I'm thinking, what kind of
stunned
stuff is this?
Hey, bro.
Stunned.
What?
Oh my God!
Just stunned.
Like you've never seen anybody black.
They just never seen that amount of beauty. I mean, if you're a 7 and a sister in law school in your late 40s or 50s, I mean, it's not common to see a lot of, you know, women that look like Sharon Little that's like pretty and
Sharon
shit, right?
Little, yeah.
Sharon Little. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Yeah, but you got Janet Jackson. I mean, you got a whole lot of
people. You look like Janet Jackson too.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying you have people like her who look young,
right?
Look great.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I don't understand that.
You don't understand it. Well, you know what? Some brother out there is missing out. Some brothers out there. So when you're out and about and doing your thing, how do you dress when you go out?
I have pants on.
Okay.
A lot of times. I might wear skirts every now and then.
Do you wear
for safety reason? Yeah,
okay, for safety reasons.
I'm not familiar with Massachusetts, and I don't know.
Okay, so you don't want to wear skirts because you don't want somebody booping you over your head and taking your goodies.
No, because I've had situations where I've had men follow me into the bathroom.
Okay, well, you know, gotta be safe. I mean, when you find, you gotta be safe. But do you like wear a lot of makeup, or do you just what?
I wear no makeup. I wear cocoa butter. That's it. No makeup.
Cocoa butter's good for you. Keep your face shine. What about, do you wear your natural hair or do you wear it up or what?
I wear it like in a hump, kind of like,
In a hump? Let's get over the hump.
It's kind of like a French roll kind of thing.
What's a French roll? A French roll like a baguette?
Say that one more time.
A French roll like a baguette? You wear your hair on a baguette?
No, not. But it's just like a hump, like in the front.
A hump.
Bump. Yeah, a bump.
A bump. Is it let's get over the hump or let's do the bump? Which one is it?
The bump.
The bump.
It's like
you wear a bump hump.
Your head, like a bun.
You wear a French bump hump. Okay.
Yeah.
A French bump hump baguette. Okay. So you got on pants in Massachusetts because you don't know the area because you got to be safe. Right. Instead of wearing them skirts and stuff, and you got to put the cocoa butter on because that keeps you soft and supple. And then you getting over the hump bump, whatever it is, it's just but you're still looking like Sharon Little when you're out there going to law school, and you just can't figure out why you can't find Boaz and shit because
Yeah, but I mean, it's like they kind of put all African American women together, and
Yeah,
like they
yeah,
say,
it's
you
all
don't,
them.
you're
April,
ratchet, and it
you're right.
it's
April,
shame.
and it's terrible. It's because all they keep doing this to you. They keep classifying all. They say you're all the same. It can't be.
Yeah,
It ain't you. It's them. You all ratchet. All these, and then even worse, they got all them kids and all this other stuff. I mean, it's hard out there for a sister.
it really is. I know you
Ah.
kind of don't think so, but you'll find out.
No, I
You'll
believe
see.
you. I believe you. So what happened when the white men come approach you? Because since the black men ain't shit.
No, that's the group I don't go with, and they always come up and reproach
Oh
me.
yeah,
It's
well,
just
of
whack.
course, Brad. Okay, so Brad's sweating you too. What about when Enrique or Ahmed or when Lee or
I mean, those Arabs, yeah,
yeah,
they'll do
when
that too.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, so you got them all coming
So
at you.
I
Blake
don't,
Henry all up in your spot. Mm-hmm.
not them. No,
Right.
they're
So
dangerous.
and when they come at you, you ain't got no game for them either, huh? Waldo and them just can't get
I
no love.
speak to them. I'm
Right.
nice to them.
So
But
so
I
let me get
don't.
this right. Brothers, you can't find a brother on your level. And then you get these other folks and you're not into the white dudes, which I feel you.
No, no.
And Enrique and the Hispanic dude and the Middle Eastern dude, you ain't feeling them, and the Asian dude. So, well, I mean, what's next? I know you ain't thinking about going and get a girl, are you?
No. I
Well,
wasn't raised like that. No.
well, so what? So, well, shit, well, I'm sorry, sis. I thought I could try to help you, but when you covering all your bases like this, and you just can't find a dude out there, sometimes, like old girl said, God has His perfect will, and maybe it's just not for you right now.
That's true.
I,
That's
I,
true.
I don't know what else to say,
Okay.
but I appreciate you calling
Well,
in.
thank you for taking that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was going to
yeah,
say thank you
all
for
the
taking
best,
my
and
call.
you stay out there safe with that humps in the bump, and them pants and the cocoa butter and shit, and get your JD so you can be the prize.
All right.
All right
Thank you
then.
so much.
All right then. All right then with
Sure.
your
Bye
fine
bye.
ass. Get up out of here. Don't break no hearts, baby
All
girl.
right.
Mm-hmm. I'll be needing at least 10 more donations for that comedy bit and proving my point beyond a shadow of a damn doubt. Gigi, she's up there with you. I'm going to need at least 10 more. I ain't taking no calls until y'all run me my donations. What do Umar say? Run me my money. And here telling them good ass lies.
In this moment,
You cannot say what's wrong or right.
it's not hard to fool me. Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
Fatality.
Edge of it all. So tell your good lies. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. So
Fatality.
before the
let's do that one again.
Fatality.
Adios, mijo, Poppy. Building an airplane while we're flying it. Don't say that content creators are not talented individuals. I dare any of you to have handled that any better, in a more civil way, and not crack the French toast up. Are you kidding me? See, y'all thought I was lying. I need all the women who was cussing me out, thumbing me down, flicking boogers at the screen, just jaws tight, just pissed off. I need you all to come down to the front of the church. The doors are open. We're having an altar call now. I need you to come on down to the front of the church so I can lay these hands on you. I need to come lay these hands on you. Because y'all was, no. It ain't that we're overvaluing ourselves. They can find it. Exhibit A, counselor. This is what you expect Blake Henry them, Blue Henry them, and the hit squad to put up with. That's the sevens. Tiffany? Somebody got. I'm just saying, that's. Wow. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I'm trying to be reasonable. Limit the chat. I will do this. See, sometimes you get accused of being rude or whatever. But the thing is, when a person believes what they believe, what are you going to tell them? What I look like arguing with these people? But what I need you ladies to understand is that men are not full of crap when we say some stuff. I always want to just put it off on the men and be like, oh, well, no, he don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about. That ain't what it is. I see you, Tiffany. Tiffany probably about to call and cuss me out, y'all. That's Tiffany. Tiffany probably going to come in throwing blessed oil and, got a tambourine or some shit going to hit me upside my head. All right, Tiffany, what the hell I did wrong now? I don't know. Lord have mercy, Jesus. What I do now? You just wrong. That was so mean. Yes, Tiffany. Hello. Tiffany. Tiffany, going once.
Hello? I'm sorry, I pressed the mute button.
Are you in the bathroom?
Hold on. Yes, hold on.
Are you sitting on the toilet calling me?
I wish. Like, let me stop. No, I'm right here. The thing, I was in the bathroom early because I had joined with video.
Did you wash your hands?
No, I didn't use the bathroom. I was sitting in there at my beauty stand.
Mm-hmm. So you sitting in the bathroom, but you didn't use the bathroom. Yeah. Okay. I just asked you if you washed your hands. I didn't say what you did. So what did I get wrong?
I don't think you got anything wrong. What I am saying is that I think that we overvalue ourselves because we see our faces all the time. You know how after a while you get used to something if you look at it enough?
Mm-hmm.
So you grow up with the same face. So you start to, minimize the flaws and start to see more of the things that you like about your face.
But what I don't understand, and see, this is one thing that's different between about men and women. Men, we get judged every day. The world tells us every day. You look in your wallet, you ain't rich. You look at your height, you ain't this, you ain't that. You go to the bathroom, ooh, you looking out what size your dick is. We get judged all the time. And no one ever says don't shame men, don't make men feel bad. But when a man, even a professional image consultant who gets paid, who is trained, paid, and certified for doing this, I still have people in the chat room telling me how wrong I was. And then we have the last call. I mean, if a man can't tell a woman the truth and women can't tell each other, women can't see the truth, what is that? What are we left? I don't understand.
Well, the thing is, you can tell a woman the truth, but you're one voice in 20.
Mm-hmm.
The way you're saying the truth, a lot of other men are telling things, to get what they want out of that woman. So they'll sit there and lie to her. A lot of the lower value people, because a woman will have people chasing her.
Yes.
For sex.
Yes, I'll give you that. Yes. Be all up in the DMs.
And some people equate a man wanting sex as a man wanting you as a person.
Right.
And so if one man say you're ugly, but these other 5 or 6 men are like, I want to have sex with you, then obviously you're not ugly, at least since.
Well, now I'm going to say I never said anybody was ugly. I just say sometimes people overvalue themselves.
Saying, like,
yeah.
You.
I know. Yeah, but see, and what I think, and what you're saying is right. We see ourselves and we minimize the flaws. So my thing is this, in a society where we have removed shame. I mean, I was even talking about the other day on church. We can't even talk about shame in Christianity. But women, no matter how society has sanitized or neutered the message the average woman gets, men are still making decisions based upon that truth. You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
How do we get women to understand that this is why you're not getting what you want? Regardless of what people will say, men still look at this. And if you don't do something with this, you're never going to get the outcome you want. How do we get that done?
Well, I think what happens is the younger the women are that you work with, the better. Because after a certain while, we become set in our delusions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like someone over 28, most likely,
right.
is not going to want to hear what you're saying.
Right.
28 and over.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get with a 19-year-old who's looking for a man and you're telling her this is what you do, then she's more likely or much more able to adapt to the situation than a woman who is over 28.
Well, I ain't trying to deal with no 19-year-olds. That's too damn young. But here's what I would say. I would say that I would hope that women can start being more honest with each other. If nothing else, in particular, let's just talk about Black women. I would hope Black women could start being more honest because the weight issue is so big.
I don't think Black women will ever start really being honest with themselves about stuff like that. Because to be honest with another Black woman about the weight thing will require being honest with yourself.
But let's take that. Then taken to the logical end, that's oblivion.
Because
that's oblivion. Because the marital rates in the Black community are going down. The weight of Black women is going up. More Black. Where does that? Jesus, that's well. Goddamn.
I think we as women need to learn how to do more self-reflection and accept more accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Younger women are more, open to doing things, are open to being taught.
Mm-hmm.
23-year-olds can be taught, 24-year-olds can be taught. So, what we should do is concentrate on teaching them about accountability and that their life can be what they make of it. Because I have heard 35 and 36-year-old women complaining to me about their life. And I'm like, why are you complaining about all these things that you can change?
Right. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 40.
Okay. Well, and shout out for saying that, younger women, But you know where I started getting the most heat on YouTube is when I actually mentioned that I prefer to date women under 35. I started catching all kind of hell from women because that accountability, that truth, that thing. I think a lot of women in that age range, Generation X especially, realize that for whatever reason, individually, maybe you're too far gone, and no one wants to feel like this is going to be it for them, dying alone. But yet, women not wanting to do that work. So, appreciate you saying the things you said. Maybe a woman can hear it coming from you versus me, but you know.
I think women that are older got such flack about that when you said it. It's because women love to have first right of refusal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate it, sis. I'm gonna get up off here. I've been going for 2 hours. That was 2 hours too long, but I think this was a pretty good show. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I ain't gonna lie. That previous stuff, the first call from Gigi and then the other call from April, that's an entire show right there. This is what happens. And then with the final caller, the results of what Gigi was talking about. You can't say nothing to nobody, so it leads to oblivion. And what does oblivion look like in the interim? Madness. If you didn't feel a tinge of cuckoo in that previous call, well, so yeah, that time you crazy. All right, guys, YouTube is doing something crazy. Can't really go through all the super chats and stuff. So April, ain't nothing wrong with April. Let April rock out, man. Sure, let her do her thing. At least she called, All right, man. Peace out. Until tomorrow. I gotta think of some shit to talk about tomorrow. I don't know if I can top this one. God damn. Peace. How do we sign up for Patreon? Somebody drop the Patreon link in the chat room. All right. And we're going to do the wrap up. Peace. We are gone. Join me on Patreon. Mondays at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for shows you will only see there. I need somebody to make me a beat or a track to loop to play during the video, during the show. I need some theme music. Maybe I'll play this during the show. Follow me on IG. Hit me up in the frat room to see live impromptu videos almost every day. Stuff you will never see over here. You want to book your one-on-one virtual consultation in the chat room. You want to deal with your career advice in the chat room. Interpersonal communication, getting better, reading, speaking, selling, that kind of stuff right there. And if you just need some one-on-one private advice, you don't want to call into the show. Everything not style or career related. If you have any show ideas, send me an email here. Business only. No requests. Business only. Have a good night. And we are